Happy Saturday, friends and future YouTube viewers. I am pausing from doing dishes, which I've been doing for like the last 45 minutes or an hour. Saturdays are cleaning days for me. But I was reminded of a scripture that came into my mindset like pretty close to having, or right after having my first little girl. And it just comes back to me every now and then, and I'm so grateful for it. And I thought, you know what, I really should pause and just throw this out into the online world, because we've been in COVID kind of isolation, living in close quarters with people that we love. And I'm speaking primarily of little ones, for the mamas that are just surrounded by little ones pretty much nonstop. And we've been like this for months. And I thought, you know, probably now is as good a time as any to just bring this little word of encouragement. So I want to share this verse with you first, and then kind of explain and why it means so much to me and where it's coming from. And I hope it encourages you too. It is Proverbs 14:4. And it says, I'm going to read it first in the Passion Translation. The only clean stable is an empty stable. So, if you want the work of an ox and to enjoy an abundant harvest, you'll have a mess or two to clean up. Now, that's the version I just read this morning because I was just curious. I've been reading it in the New Living Translation for as long as I can remember, but it says, without oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. Now, no, I don't think of my children as oxen. They are so wonderful. But the Lord kind of used this verse, like I said, shortly after having my first baby. And it just really impressed upon my heart this idea that, you know, the days of having a clean house are over once you have children. And then the more of them that you have, the less likely you're ever going to get your whole house clean top to bottom and have it last for longer than 2 seconds. I've heard it said that trying to clean with toddlers is like shoveling while it's still snowing. And so this verse just came into my life and has encouraged me that in the same way that if you want this wonderful harvest that would come from sort of being a rancher, it means you're going to have dirty animals making messes, and that's just all part of the package. And so as mamas, and dads too, like I'm sure dads get frustrated with the messes and stepping over things as well, but I'm going to speak to women because I think that's probably who mostly watches me talk. But as moms and dads, we enter into this thing called parenthood, and our priorities just naturally have to shift. And I think that we can find a really beautiful place of peace when we can take a deep breath and we can go, you know what? If we want to value a clean house, a clean stable, it means one of two things: either getting rid of the kids, which hopefully is not an option, or becoming so constricting that you would almost be squashing what kids are meant to do, which is to play and explore and create and build and try things and fail. I mean, that's life. The only way that we as adults don't make messes is if we don't do anything. And so, you know, when I think of the activities, and even if I was to take you on a tour right now, what you would see throughout my house is Ellie's artwork and crafts are all over the place. Markers and pens being left around are just a normal thing around here. You would see Legos spread to the width and length of a room. That seems to be the measure to which Legos manifest and spread. And then, you know, Naya is always baking, always cooking, and I love that, but she's not always cleaning at the same time. So there's crusted stuff on cabinets, there's crusty stuff on the floor, and like I said, I've been washing dishes for at least 45 minutes and I'm not even done yet. Okay, so I can either get disgruntled about this and frustrated, which I admit is kind of the natural tendency. I every now and then I just go, oh, I just want my house to be clean for like a whole day, just so I can just sit and enjoy its cleanliness, you know? But what good is that? That if my house is clean from top to bottom for days on end, it probably means my kids aren't doing anything. They're probably watching TV or playing video games. They're not doing constructive things that create messes, which means there's not going to be much of a harvest from that, right? Kids who grow up watching TV and playing video games and not making messes are probably not going to have much of a harvest in the future that comes from that. And so for me, I find this place of peace when I can go and I can switch my attitude. And instead of getting sort of frustrated at the ever ongoing creative messes, I can celebrate. And I can say, thank you for this messy stable. And I'm not talking about letting it get gross and like health concerns from uncleanliness. I'm talking about just messes. And it is good to try to teach your kids clean up after yourselves, right? But they're not going to get that perfect. So I'm just saying that in those moments when you look around, you're like, one more thing, really? Instead, celebrate. I try to just pause and smile and go, I have a daughter who is creating and trying to sell her artwork. I have a daughter who offers to make dinner and lunch and loves to explore and try new recipes. These are good things. I've got a little guy who will play Legos and is learning how to build and is constantly drawing things and then trying to make them out of cardboard. These are such good things. And I hope that your little ones, that you're smiling right now because you get it, because you're thinking, yep, and my little guy does this and my daughter does that. Those are worth celebrating. These are our strong oxen, so to speak. This is our ranch, which is flourishing, and it will bring a harvest. So again, I'm just going to close by reading it one more time. Again, Proverbs 14:4. The only clean stable is an empty stable. There's a lot of mamas, a lot of grandmas who wish their stables weren't empty anymore. So just keep that in mind. So if you want the work of an ox and to enjoy an abundant harvest, you'll have a mess or two to clean up. And in the New Living Translation, without oxen, a stable stays clean, yes, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. So as you observe the messes in your home today, celebrate and rejoice that those messes mean your kids are doing good things, which means they're going to produce a harvest, a good harvest in the future. I bless your day. You're doing a good work. Hang in there. We don't get it perfect, but let's try to celebrate when our kids are actually doing really good things, even if it makes a mess and even if it means then we have to train them to try to clean up that mess. So have a good Saturday. Bye-bye.